So the difference between this certificate of compliance that I'm holding in my hand and the one that these people are going to get is a full year of hard work, okay? And I think one or two NGOs will tell you how much hard work it is. I'll let them spell it out. But just to explain to you, we have this certificate card that they're giving out. Rati, you can come here. Rati, come. On the inside, what you see is a dummy compliance checklist, okay? And the NGOs, this is actually their final report. So they had all these checklists that they had to complete through the training session. So the way the program works is, CAP focuses on 8 core areas for NGOs. That is legal finance, board governance, HR, strategy, communication, volunteer management, and fundraising. And in each of these areas, what we do is we have workshops that focus on the compliance piece. And at the end of it, the NGOs work towards fulfilling this checklist. So what you are seeing here is a dummy. Like I said, their entire report is over here, 22 pages. It has all the 8 checklists that they fulfilled, okay? And at the end of the year, if they meet the criteria in all 8, then they get a compliance certification, okay? So that's how it works. I'm going to ask them to just share their experiences with you as to how difficult it was, how easy it was. I think I'll start with Annabelle Apnale, or should I do that last since Sangeeta may come in? Yeah? Okay, so I'll start with Vandana. And Vandana, you might want to share how easy or difficult you thought it was and your learning moments, whatever you like with them.
Thank you, Meher. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Dadrawala, who has been a supporter of WeCare from the time WeCare was started and has been guiding us in every possible way. And Meher for being with us ever since, I think, for 5 years or more. And so this compliance thing was a great learning experience. You know, to know something which we should have done, which was in my mind for a long time, but it was just stayed in my mind. And I think for succession to take place, everything should be in a manual. And it should be really well listed out so that anybody who comes in finds it easy and can take it on and improve upon it. So that is what was a great thing about it. And there were many things which we take for granted or we tend to ignore, thinking that it's an NGO and we really don't need to work on it. I think that was also focused, and small things that came up, and it's been a great, great learning experience. So if any of you is thinking of it, please do join in and become legally compliant, but be prepared to work hard. That's true.
How tedious was it, Vandana?
It was, because you know what happened, unfortunately for me, was that we have only volunteers working with us. We don't have any staff. So that is the biggest thing, because the time commitment from volunteers becomes difficult. So that was one thing. Second thing is that unfortunately I had a lot of meetings to attend during that period, so I had to be traveling. One of our other volunteers who had taken on the commitment, her mother fell sick, another one's father-in-law was hospitalized, and the fourth one had her son's wedding to take place. So it was like really jumbling around to make sure that we can do the work. So it became tedious from that point of view. But I think initially if you decide, and if people, I mean, if you have paid staff, nothing like it, because they will focus on the area that you're working on. But otherwise, you know, I mean, it has to be a joint effort, but there has to be some consistency, which probably didn't come in our work because of our issues and problems.
So the way it works is that the HR person from your organization will look at the HR compliances. The board will look at governance. Different people look at different checklists. So the load doesn't come onto the leader or one person in that sense. So that's the way the program's designed. Thank you. Amishi, would you like to add anything?
No, I think she has said most of the things, but I personally felt that in the organization I was looking at only one thing initially, But now, once I got involved, I felt that till our involvement is not there, we cannot expect a third person. I feel even a paid staff can't do that. Because we were ourselves involved, there were so many things that when you go into it, you realize that no, this needs to be done. This is how it should be done. You know, if you involve yourself, I think there is nothing like it. Then it would have been, if from day one we were as involved, it would have been easier maybe. But still, it was a great learning. Yeah, thanks, Meher, and thanks, Mr. Dadrawala, for the opportunity.
Okay, you're next, Shlita. And Deep Graha. So this is Deep Graha Society from Pune, and their compliance file is over there. Rahul, you want to pick it up for everyone?
A lot of hard work went into that.
He actually did weight training for this. And so that's all this. The back people can't see. Rahul, I'm serious. Can you just... So have a good look at it. These are the papers that you'll have to take out. These are the papers that you'll have to file. And this does not involve the soft copies of the policies that they have done over the year. So one part of the program really is getting your legal mandatory paperwork in place. But the other part of it is really getting your organization policies in place. So for example, getting your HR policy, your board governance policy, all that into place. Would you like to share your experience?
22 pages that make the checklist, so you can imagine what the process was like. Despite having paid staff and different teams handling different things, it took a lot of man-hours because you have to realize that you're doing your daily work, running the programs as well as this. But the CAP team was extremely helpful. They guided us really well. Every time we had a conversation with them, we used to be like, there used to be a sigh of relief. Because of all the built-up tension after trying to put this together, they helped a lot. So even if anyone who's thinking about doing it, know that they'll support you.
Yeah, but tell them on the hours of work that went in, and you can tell them very frankly that I sent the first list back saying this is not an order, you need to put it all back in order. You can tell them. You can tell them that I ruined your Christmas holidays, that's also fine.
Yes, they did. They ruined our Christmas holidays because we got the list like 2 days before Christmas. And there's a lot of preparation that we needed to do through the holidays. The first list that we sent out came back because it was not in order. It was not how it should have been. So we had to spend more time working on it. So this file was not easy to put together.
So that's the first time Ashleisha said, I won't delegate, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Anything else that you want to add?
No, and lots of learnings, of course. There were a lot of learnings. Despite the fact that Deep Graha is a 41-year-old organization, there were a lot of things we learned. The example that Naushir gave earlier about volunteers was us.
Yes.
And so apart from that, we've had a lot of learning that we hope to carry with us.
So a lot of people think that compliance is just about my income tax, FCRA, and that's where it ends. It doesn't. So Rahul, can you just tell them about your volunteer story in detail so that they know that it's about volunteer management as well?
So we've been having volunteers come to Deep Graha for quite some time. So I've been the coordinator for about 3 years. So I just took it as a granted that everything was in place. I didn't really pay much attention. So when I came for the workshop, I was like, okay, there shouldn't be any problem and all, until I realized Naushir sort of made us realize the fact that we shouldn't have volunteers coming on a tourism visa, for instance. And then that sort of really put me into a bit of a fix, and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then I immediately called up my director and said, okay, we need to stop this immediately. So it's a learning process. So we've been through compliance a lot. A lot of corporates have audited us. We've sailed through, but the rigor of the CAP compliance is something else. It's another level. But I'm pretty confident now if we have a compliance, anyone comes to us now, we'll sail through effortlessly. There won't be any issues at all. So it's definitely a journey. I mean, the way Naushir put it in the beginning, you shouldn't see it as a destination, and you will really enjoy working with Naushir and Meher during the entire process, at least we did.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Also, I want to say that in Deep Graha's case, their board member actually attended the workshop, and they had started the ball rolling for a lot of board processes. So that's the other thing, yeah? Anything can I add to that? Nothing? Okay. And the third NGO is not here. They're from Panchgani, and unfortunately their board members in Bombay is not well, so they haven't come. That's Initiatives of Change. It's an NGO that works in Panchgani. And the last one that did it, well, I will also tell you that we had 5 NGOs when we signed up. Indian Cancer Society had signed up, but they had some issues with their founder changing, and they dropped out halfway. And the last NGO here is Apnale. I'm going to first ask Sangeeta to speak if you don't mind, because I think that out of everyone that we interacted with within the program, I think she was always on time. She had a lot of paperwork to arrange and rearrange, not so much because it was at fault, but a lot of extra compliances. They were the only organization that also had additional policies, like an IT policy and other things. And she's really been extremely efficient. So if there was an efficiency award, Sangeeta, you would get it. So please tell us about your experience of putting it all together. So she was the main coordinating person from their side.
Actually, I hardly speak, so I don't know what to say. But really, the certificate program actually help understand the organizations where they have to improve. Like every time when Meher used to call me and ask, Sangeeta, you now follow the volunteer policies. So really, which component are you actually following? It just is the sake of policy. Okay. So in details, they want to know exact what is going on in the organization. So really, thanks to Meher and CAP to help us to understand, feel pride on the work which we are doing. And actually, really, Meher actually did the hand-holding in whole the process. So thanks to Meher altogether. And this is really a journey for me actually as an individual and as an organization.
The good news is now you don't feel scared when my phone rings. Annabelle, so Annabelle, we did a board assessment with them as well earlier on. They were one of the first NGOs we did the board, as in for the program. So you want to...
Very tough. Very tough. They're very hard taskmasters, I think, both Mayor and Norcia, and that's what I'm happy about. I think we all know that the NGO sector has many, many, many fingers pointed at it by all sorts of people who don't know a thing about the sector, but always looking for excuses why they shouldn't help us, donate to us, support us, because we are not running our NGOs the way they think we should be. And this makes me extremely angry and has made me extremely angry for more than 40 years. So any organization like Credibility Alliance or GuideStar or Give India or whatever who is helping to promote a good image to the NGO sector, I'm very, very happy about. I hope that CAP will do a lot to publicize or promote this.
I'm banking on you for that.
Hmm?
I'm banking on you for that.
No, all these communications people you have to get pro bono. Because if it's a certificate that people aspire towards in the sector, then it becomes really useful and meaningful and work all the hours of hard work. Sangeeta has not overplayed it, but I can assure you, I don't know how many hours you've spent during the last 1 year helping to produce all the documents, and all of these people will vouch for that. So in order to make it really all worthwhile, we have to promote it as a really high benchmark for the sector. And I think that will be wonderful. I can't say how grateful I am to Norcia and Meher for doing this, and I think we all should be.
Thank you. So before I give out the certificates, Tina, Aparna, where are you? I'd like you to just very quickly. So they helped us in the audit process as well. Aparna did a few workshops. So if you can tell, come.
Right. So I'm Tina. I have been helping CAP with helping the NGOs look at their financial processes and systems. I used to work with Akanksha. I was the CFO there for 10 years, but I left quite a few years ago, and then I've been with CAP for a few years. On the finance side, I cannot stress that even when you have an auditor, I can guarantee you that the auditor will not pick up on a lot of little things, and I noticed that when I was reviewing these. They're small things. Audits will never go into each and every little detail, each and every little financial regulation. There are going to be things they will miss. There will be things that you will miss. So this really helps. We put a third, fourth, fifth eye over it, but in a sort of very different way. And our whole aim is to look at helping you in a practical manner. What is practical? I think, not to say anything bad about, I've been an auditor, so I know. But the auditor is not going to have the same concerns for you as an organization as we would have. And I can't give you specific examples, but there are lots of little things that we will pick up on for sure.
Hi, my name is Aparna and I was handling the HR part of the audit for the compliance program. I think what's important is that HR processes and systems will help you bring clarity, and that clarity of role will help you be more legally compliant. So it's, getting step closer to compliance in that way. So other than the, typical things of the organization structure and the job descriptions, we really went into a lot of details on the policy side, whether there's whether there are policies on employee development, how they can be structured better, how, you might feel there is an appraisal system in place, so I don't need to really look at it anymore, but chances are that maybe it's either too detailed. Like in one of the cases, I thought it was extremely detailed and very difficult to do even on an annual basis. So how can you simplify processes sometimes? So I think these were the kind of things that came up during the audit, and I'm hopeful that the organizations will build on that and then, take their HR to the next level, wherein it aligns straight away to the strategy of the organization and helps the organization to grow. So that was basically my experience. Thanks.
I don't think even they thought how much work it was before they joined up, to be honest. Right, Aparna? Okay. So on that note, we're going to hand out the certificates, and trust me, I think they deserve a huge round of applause because it was a lot of hard work for them. We'll give it out in alphabetical order. Apnale? Yeah, your report as well. Noshin? Congratulations. Huge round of applause, guys. Okay, Rati, you can wait on. Deep Graha. And this is their report. If Sangeeta gets the award for being the most efficient, then Rahul will definitely get it for being the most humorous and making me laugh through the process. Thank you. And Vandana, we care. Clap for them, guys. Okay. Thank you very much.
I have just one question to ask.
Yeah?
A very quick one. Which was difficult, your financial audit or this audit for any one of you? Think about it and tell me tomorrow.
So this is the fourth NGO, so I wasn't lying about the fourth NGO. He's there. Okay, so Tapan, sit. We'll give you a breather.
I think it was a very good experience overall. It helped us identify some of the gaps that we had not yet addressed fully, and it was kind of an eye-opener in many ways in some aspects of our work. We are a very old trust, more than 50 years old, and we thought we had it all covered, but obviously CAP helped us identify key aspects which we were overlooking. So I think overall it was a great experience, and working with Naushir, Meher and the CAP team was also very valuable because they would provide insights which no other auditor had given us before or no other external agency had given us before. And they bring in very valuable insights as charity-focused auditor, which I don't think anybody else in India currently offers. So it was great. Thanks.
Thank you, Prabha.